Hello, everyone. Welcome to Therapeutic Yoga. We are tackling weight loss, but not just weight loss. We are tackling visceral fat today. So, a lot of you may not even know that visceral fat, this belly fat, is a completely different problem than when you have overall weight on your body. And so I thought what we would do today is tackle what are some really good things that you can do with yoga to help in getting rid of this visceral fat. But before we start our class and talk about all of those things that we're going to do with yoga and do all of those things with yoga, we got to talk about the non-yoga stuff first. So specific to visceral fat, there are three main things that you need to make sure that you're doing on a regular daily basis. Number one, fuel, nutrition. You need regular meals every single day and very little sugar. So if this is your problem and this is your target area that you're focusing on with weight loss, make sure there's no snacking, keep those equal meals and have them the same time every day like clockwork, and get rid of the sugar. Number two, make yourself move every day, whether it's walking, light jogging, cycling, swimming, it doesn't make a difference, but you need to increase your heart rate and get some anaerobic burning of adrenaline, which will help reduce visceral fat. And finally, number three, we are going to tackle in our yoga class today, but something that you do need to make sure you are taking care of your body with is stress management. So one of the key things that builds up this abdominal visceral fat is the high production of cortisol, which is a hormone in your body. The only way to reduce that is to get rid of those external stressors, and that means these internal stressors as well. And so that's what we're going to tackle today. Not getting rid of the external stressors, but ways to manage the internal stressors that are in this head. So what you're going to need for class today is a yoga bolster or something to sit on. You can by all means be sitting in a chair if you want, and then your yoga mat for the majority of the class, we're going to be down there. All right, so find yourself in a nice, simple seated position. We are going to begin class today working on managing those internal stressors. So we're going to do a type of mindfulness called body awareness. So have yourself in a comfortable position for you. Make sure that you feel like your pelvis and your lumbar spine are in a neutral position. So kind of go through a couple of rock and rolls of the pelvis until you feel like you're on your sit bones. Have your legs in a comfortable positions, preferably your knees below your hips. And then just allow yourself to hinge slightly forward so that you can make sure that you've got weight through your legs. Take a moment here to get some nice length through your spine. So sitting up nice and tall, but no backward bend. Shoulders, let's just kind of hold a tray in front of us and just gently shrug our shoulders up. Rotate externally your arms and your shoulder blades, and then just gently let your elbows come back like they're sitting into your back pockets. Keep that spine nice and tall. Engage through those shoulder blades right there. And then one arm at a time, just unrotate the glenohumeral joints or your shoulders, and then just rest your hands down onto your thighs. Now, palms can be up, or if you prefer, palms can be down. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Really feel like that neck is nice and long and in line with that spine. Settle that tongue and rest that tongue on the roof of your mouth. Check back in that as you did all that upper body posture correction, you didn't lose the weight through your legs. All right, so body awareness, a very easy mindfulness exercise that you can do to give yourself a minute or two to kind of just relax that nervous system and kind of tune into where your body is literally. And so as you're sitting in the position you're in right now, I want you to start to pay attention to where your left toes are, your left foot is, and your left ankle is. And as you feel where those are, bring your attention up to your left calf and your left shin. Feel if there's anywhere that might be touching your calf or your shin in the position you're sitting right now. Continue that body awareness up towards that left knee. And you start to be very aware of where that left hand is touching that left thigh. And keep moving your attention up that thigh. Feel around to the back side of the thigh, and can you feel where that thigh is touching the surface you're sitting on? Then go to the right foot. Feel the right toes, the right foot, the right ankle. And slowly start to move your mind and your awareness up to your right shin and your right calf. And feel maybe where there's contact with the opposite foot or the opposite leg. And slowly bring your awareness up to your right knee. Start to feel where your right hand is touching somewhere near that upper thigh area on that right side. And slowly keep moving up that right leg until you start to become aware of where the back of that right thigh is touching the surface you're sitting on. Now take your attention for a minute to where all of the contact of your buttock and your pelvis are with what you're sitting on. And in your mind, imagine what that imprint might look like if you're sitting on a bolster, kind of like a footprint in the sand. Just kind of imagine that for a minute. Kind of keep your attention with that pelvis and just slowly move up the trunk and feel the waistband of what you've got on today. Start with the back and the low back area. Can you feel where it touches your skin? Go around to the left side of your body. Feel where it touches the skin. Go around to the right side of your body and feel where it touches the skin. And then make it all the way around to the very front of your body, that abdominal area. Feel that band as it touches that area of your body. And slowly take your attention up your trunk and feel your chest area. Feel the back of the rib cage. And come up so far as you can feel where maybe the neckline of your shirt might be. Can you feel it touching the front of your chest, and can you feel it touching the back of your neck? And then go down to that left hand and take your attention to the left fingers. Can you feel each individual finger as it touches your left thigh? Feel your palm and the back of your hand. Move up to that left wrist, up to the forearm. Feel that left elbow. Moving up that left upper arm. Can you imagine in your brain right now, without actually looking, what that angle that you might have of that left elbow is? Is it 90 degrees, 120, 140? Just imagine what you think it might be, even though you're not physically looking at it and just feeling it. And then take your attention up to your left shoulder. Feel where maybe the arm hits the side of your body and becomes your armpit. And then continue your attention as you bring it all the way back to that left shoulder blade. And can you feel where the left shoulder blade is actually touching your shirt? And then go to your right hand. Start with feeling all of your fingers and thumb touching your thigh. Can you individually perceive those in your awareness? Moving to the palm and moving to the back of the hand. And then gently moving up to the wrist. Going up to the forearm. And making your way to that right elbow. And continuing the journey up the arm. But take a moment to visualize what that angle of that right elbow might be. Can you picture it? And can you compare it to the left side? Do you feel like they're both similar? And then as you bring your attention up to that right shoulder area. Can you feel that exact point where the right arm begins to touch the body and becomes part of the armpit? And then keep that journey going to the back of the shoulder blade. Can you feel that point where maybe that inside of that shoulder is touching your shirt? Take your attention up the back of your neck. And bring your attention to the front of your throat for a second. And check in that the tongue is still resting on the roof of the mouth. And take a moment here just to take a nice, beautiful swallow. Feeling all of that beautiful movement that happens in the neck when we do something so simple that we don't even think about. And take your attention up to your mouth. Just start to feel, is there any touching of any teeth? Are your teeth approximating? Or are they slightly apart? Slowly bring your attention up to your nose. Taking a little bit of a deeper inhale. Can you feel the cold hitting your nostrils? And taking an exhale. Can you feel that air coming out of your nose? Moving up to your eyes closed. Can you feel how tightly you hold your eyelids closed? Or do you just do so nice and gently? And go up to your eyebrows. Is there any tension in between those two sets of areas? Called the corrugator muscle. Are you keeping that tense? Major indicator of stress for most of us. And then bring your attention up to your forehead. Is it nice and relaxed? And holding yourself right there. Feeling the whole body. As you're nice and still, is there one part of your body that immediately says something to you? If so, say hello. Recognize it. Accept whatever it's saying to you. And then tell it, well, we're going to move on. And then slowly opening your eyes. All right, so who would have thunk it? We're here to do a weight loss class, and we just did 5 to 7 minutes of mindfulness. Well, the reason for that is one of the main reasons a lot of us keep a lot of additional abdominal fat is because of what's happening in here. So if you don't have a regular mindfulness practice, I encourage you as a part of your weight loss routine to think about adding that to your daily practice. All right, let's move on with things that are going to help this area. So one thing is, we know that abdominal exercises in and of themselves, and what I mean by that is crunches and sit-ups and everything that does this, does not affect visceral fat. It makes your abdominal muscles stronger, but the fat that is in between the layers needs movement. And so oftentimes working these abdominal muscles are excellent ways to create movement to the area. That is entirely what we're going to be working on today in our yoga class. But let's introduce a couple types of breathing exercises. So you don't need to move your body to create movement to the abdominal region. So we are going to do 2 specific breathing exercises today that will light that fire on that abdominal viscera. Now, I want to mention before we do these 2 breathing exercises, there are some precautions to these breathing exercises. Let me list them. So if you're at home participating with me and you've got any of these things going on, please be cautious. One is obviously pregnancy. We're going to be forcefully contracting the abdominal muscles in a seated position. If you've got something growing in there, we don't want to make that any worse. So speaking of growing, obviously, if you've got any sort of hiatal hernia, abdominal hernia, inguinal hernia, we don't want to be forcefully contracting those abdominal muscles and make a hernia grow. Relative to your guts, we want to make sure if there's any sort of inflammatory gut issues that are happening, be careful when you do these exercises. You're not forcefully exhaling so hard that you notice any sort of pain happening. So it doesn't mean don't do them. It just means be careful. Now let's talk about the circulatory system for a second. You've got a big, gigantic abdominal artery that comes up the center of your abdomen that we're going to be contracting around that abdominal artery. So some cardiovascular things to be cautious of. If you've got uncontrolled high blood pressure, if you've got history of a recent stroke, or you've got epilepsy or any sort of acute migraine, things that increasing your circulation might cause a worsening of, please be cautious. It doesn't mean don't do, but I wanted to give the whole list of things that you want to be cautious with when you're doing abdominal strengthening type of breathing exercises. Now that we've said that, let's get on to something called skull shining breath, Kapalabhati breathing. And so the whole idea of Kapalabhati breathing is to stimulate the stomach, the pancreas, and the liver. So everything that's right here where this visceral fat is, that's sitting underneath the abdominals. So what I want you to do is get yourself in a nice tall position. I'm going to talk you through this one quick time before we go through this breathing exercise. The breathing exercise is quite simple. What you're going to do is take a slow, long inhale through your nose, and then you're going to spit exhales out through your nose. As you're exhaling out through your nose, you're going to create strong, quick contractions of your abdominals. And so as you're contracting really quickly, you're beginning to add mobility and strengthening of those abdominals and fire up that abdominal region. So I'm going to show you what it looks like real quickly for 5 quick breaths. And then we're going to try to do it for 10 to 15 quick breaths. So nice deep inhale into the belly through the nose. And then those quick exhales. That's all there is to it. Now here's key. You don't want the chest moving. You don't want the body gyrating. You don't want the legs and hips moving. You want one area only moving, and that's the abdominal muscles playing against the abdominal pressure. So for you, if you want to place a hand on your belly, by all means do it. It will help you in controlling that the movement's only happening here. Don't allow your body to do any sort of funny maneuvers as you're doing this at home. We're going to practice this 2 rounds. It's going to be 10 to 15 breaths. I'm going to count it at a rate of about a second with my snap, because I'm going to be doing it with you, so I cannot talk. And so what I want you to do is listen for my snap, and we're going to do it for about 15 counts. First time, don't do it so forceful that you feel your body movement. Second time, maybe try it a little bit harder. All right, here we go. Nice, slow, deep inhale in. And quick exhales. How'd you do? Could you hear my snap? I hope so. So all you're doing is really contracting those abdominals very quickly. The inhale happens automatically as you force the exhale. All right, let's try this one more time. Maybe give it a little bit more gumption this time, as this is the second round that we're going to do. We're going to try those 15 breaths again, just like we just did. Body nice and tall. Keep the body nice and still. Only diaphragm and abdominals working here. Let's take that nice deep inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Did you keep your body still? Did you get those abdominals contracting? Wonderful. All right, let's move on to the second type of breathing exercise before we get this body moving. So the second breathing exercise that we're doing that's very, very good for moving that visceral fat around and contracting those abdominal muscles is Bellow's breath, also known as Bactriska breath. So Bactriska breath is an energy type of breathing. So not only is this good for getting rid of visceral fat, it is good for energizing yourself. So if you're that person that's at home practicing with me and middle of the day slump starts to hit, that adenosine in your sleep pressure starts to increase, and the first thing you want to do is think about, where's my bed? I want to take a nap. Try this breathing exercise. It will stimulate your body, and maybe you don't need that nap and you can do something that's active instead. So let's go on and try Bactrista breath here. Nice and simple. Rather than quick inhales, it's forceful exhales through the nose as you contract the abdomen. So again, body stays perfectly still here. The only thing you want moving is your abdominal pressure changing as you're using diaphragm on the inhale, abdominals on the exhale. So place a hand on the rib cage so you can feel the upper body not moving. Make sure there's weight through the legs. Get that neck nice and long. Let me show you this just for 2 quick breaths, and then we'll do it all together. Take a slow, deep inhale into the nose. Slow exhale out. Here we go. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So that's all it is. So quick inhale, quick exhale, quick inhale, quick exhale. I am not going to count this. I am going to do it with you. So we're going to do it for 5 breaths, 2 times. Let's give it a try. Nice and tall, hand on the belly so you know the diaphragm and the abdominals are working. Allow yourself to first take that inhale nice and slowly. Increase that abdominal pressure. Now exhale through that nose slowly. Feel those abdominals tighten. All right, here we go. Inhale. How'd you do? Did you get 5 good ones in there? Wonderful. Let's do that one more time. Slow inhale in. Get that abdominal moving. Exhale out. Tighten those abdominals. 5 times. Here we go. All right. How'd you do? So a couple of notes. Kapalabhati breathing, if you're really using it to reduce that visceral fat, it's encouraged to do it for about 30 repetitions. So we did 2 sets of 15, which is 30. Try to get those 30s all at one time. With Bactrista breath or Bellow's breath, you want to get to the point that you're doing 10 in and outs and then repeat that 3 times to get your 30. Do not do Bellow's breath 30 times all at once. It can create hyperventilation because it is such a stimulating breathing technique. All right, we are ready to move on to moving these bodies. So find yourself off of your bolster, go into child's pose, and I will meet you there.
Okay, resting in child's pose. Let's make sure our knees are hip distance apart here. Have your feet so that you can see that your feet are equal to that hip distance apart behind you. Rest your belly on your thighs, chest on your knees, soften your elbows here. Lengthen the back of your neck, tuck your chin into your throat here, gaze straight back between those toes. Give me a nice, slow, deep inhale into the belly. And then exhaling out. One more time, nice, deep inhale into the belly. And then exhaling out. Beautiful. Slowly make yourself up into hands and knees. Make sure that you see that those knees are hip distance. Bring yourself so that your hips stack perfectly on top of the knees. In that position, walk your hands forward so that your wrists and your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders, index fingers forward, thumbs inward, outer 3 fingers out. Check in that you line up those wrist creases kind of in the direction of your thumbs or slightly angled inward. Don't have your wrist creases fully pointed towards the front of your mat. Now, in this position, let's go through some cat-cows here. So take a nice deep inhale, sink your belly, sink your spine, lift your tailbone, shoulder blades back and down, lengthen the neck and look up. Exhale, pull that belly really in, really exhale as you pull that belly in, arch that spine up, tuck that tailbone, spread the shoulder blade, chin to chest, look back into that belly button. 2 more times here. Inhale, sink everything down. Shoulder blades are back and down, lengthening that neck and looking up, and then exhale, curling everything up and under, tucking that tailbone, chin to your chest, look into that belly button. And one more time, inhale, sinking it all down, lengthening that neck, looking up, and exhaling, curling it all up, lengthening the back of that neck, chin to chest, looking inward. Very good. Now from here, bring yourself back to the center. Allow your feet to just quickly move to the left side. So windshield wiper your feet to your left. Take your hands and walk your hands so that you're lining your index fingers up with the left side of your mat. So you're in a nice good side bend here. Let's really tackle that fat of that right side of our belly here. So in this position, just allow yourself to sink down and inhale what you can, lengthen the neck if you can. And then as you exhale, curl everything up and under. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, sink it down what you can, look up a little tiny bit. You don't have as much movement because you're in a side bend. Exhale, curl everything up. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, sink it down, really focusing on those right abdominals and visceral fat. And exhale, curling it all up. Very nice. Immediately whip those feet to the right side. Take those hands to the right side. Line up those index fingers with the side of your mat. Keep yourself in that left side bend or right side bend, focusing on the left abdominals and left visceral fat here. Take that inhale and sink everything down and gently look up. And then as you exhale, curl everything under. Inhale, sink it all down and look up. And then as you exhale, curl it all under, tuck that chin, look into your belly button 1 more time. Inhaling and inhaling and inhaling, and then exhaling and exhaling and exhaling. Very nice. Slowly bring your hands back to the center, unrotate your legs, find your bolster. Take yourself so that you're in a nice, good kneeling position here. If you need your bolster for your balance, place it on the right side of your body. Take your left leg out to the side of your body. Now, we're going into triangle pose here. So once you have yourself in the position that your right knee, well, a modification of triangle pose, your right knee and your left ankle line up. Once you have that, allow your bolster now to just drop onto the floor, so that you can then use your right hand. Left hand is on the side of your left leg. Place it up near your hip crease for a minute. Right hand has nothing to do yet. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, just bend a little bit into that left hip. Now, let's get this right visceral fat moving. So gate pose, a modification of triangle. Take a nice deep inhale, lift that right arm nice and high, and then as you exhale, side bend over as much as you can. Now check in that armpit's rotated up so that you're getting that elongation through the entire side of your belly here. So in this position, here's what I want you to try to do. Can you do a mini little cat and a mini little cow? So can you inhale and lengthen that fingertips upward back? And can you exhale and curl under as you bring it forward? You guys have it. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale, lengthening up. And exhaling, gently curling under 1 more time. Inhaling, lengthening up, maybe look up to the stars on this one, and then exhale, curling under. Beautiful job. Take that inhale, lift that right arm up. Exhale, drop it down to the bolster. Take that left leg in. Allow yourself to take your bolster over to your left side. Get your balance in a good position as you line yourself up. So left hip under on top of the left knee. Take that right leg out to the side. Can you line up your left knee and your right ankle? When you feel like, yes, I have this, I'm ready to go, drop that bolster down, right hand onto the right knee, right hip, sorry. Just slide yourself up until you find that top part of your hip. And then in this position, without doing anything with the left arm yet, take a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, just kind of side bend into that right hip. Gives you a nice stable base, but also kind of creates some opening for that right hip. All right, let's get this left visceral fat working. Left arm, inhale it all the way up, and then as you exhale, side bend over. Now, not only are we doing that side bend today in gate pose, but we're really going to work on introducing extension and flexion to this. So take that deep inhale, backward bend, and look up, and then as you exhale, slowly bend forward. Now, make sure that that armpit is lifting up towards the ceiling. So be in a side bend and not a rotation. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, slowly coming forward. Let's do 1 more time. Nice deep inhale, lifting up, and exhale, coming down. Beautiful. Left hand, inhale, lift it all the way up, and exhale, drop that hand to the bolster. Bring your right leg in, slowly rotate yourself. Now,
We are going to have fun doing plank pose today. So you have two options with plank pose. You can do it on your mat, or you can do it on your bolster, meaning your elbows will be on your bolster. I leave it to you how you want to do it. I'm going to do it without a bolster, but I want to give you that option. It is a little bit easier to do it that way. If you've got it in you and you think, yes, I can do this, allow yourself to come down onto your elbows. Now, check in this position that you've got your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Hands, place them on the floor so that you see your index fingers pointed forward, thumbs are inward, outer three fingers are outward. Make sure that you see that lineup of your second finger with your forearm with your elbow. Now that you have your upper body alignment for plank pose, take your right leg back. Once you bring your right leg back, can you look straight back and make sure that your hip and your knee and your ankle line up? Also look to the outside of the right foot. Can it line up with the outside of the mat? All right, here we go. Time to add the left leg. Take the left leg back. Can you get the hip and the knee and the ankle to all line up? Can you get the left foot to line up with the outside of the mat? You're kind of doing plank pose, ladies and gentlemen, but let's really make it happen. Can you tighten your abdominals and tuck your tailbone under? Can you pull your shoulder blades apart? Can you lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and gaze down between your elbows? Now, finally, can you push back into your heels? Can you pull your elbows slightly down towards your feet? Can you feel that shaking? Give me a nice deep inhale here and an exhale. Keep those shoulder blades spread, tuck that tailbone, push back into those heels. Deep inhale here and exhale, and slowly drop your knees. Drop yourself to the floor. Cobra pose, that is where we are now. So in a cobra pose, very good pose for visceral and abdominal fat. Let me explain to you why. You're stretching out that visceral area, so there's length going into it, but your belly's on the floor. So you can do exercises to breathe into the mat, into the floor, to kind of create mobility of that visceral fat. So let's give that a try. Make sure that your shoulder blades aren't falling forward, but you've got your shoulder blades gently spread apart. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gaze down to your thumbs. Check in that you have not lost the alignment of your elbows, wrists, and fingers. So index finger pointed forward. Now, can you give yourself just a gentle tuck under? So tighten the lower abdominals so that you feel your pelvic bone is touching your mat right now. Maybe take a look back and make sure that your feet are lined up with your hips. Now, in this position, really pay attention to the engagement between your shoulder blades. So don't let your shoulder blades fall. Now, can you take an inhale, push your belly into the floor? Can you take an exhale, lift your belly off the floor? Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more, inhale, exhale, and drop yourself down. So Bactrista, Bellow's breath with length of that abdominal viscera, an excellent exercise to do to really start to get that weight loss of that abdominal area. All right, rest your hands down so that you're making a diamond with your index fingers and your thumbs here. Just gently drop your head down onto the mat. Allow yourself to be here for just a moment. Take a nice deep inhale into your belly. Exhale slowly out through the nose. Let's do that one more time. Deep inhale into the belly. And exhale slowly out through the nose. Beautiful. Now, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck those elbows back, engage through those triceps, really tighten those abdominals and tuck that tailbone under, lengthen your neck. And can you push yourself all the way back into a child's pose? Lots of abdominals happening to make that happen. Make sure that your feet still are hip distance apart. Settle your sit bones down on your heels. Belly to the thighs, drop that chest all the way down, lengthen the neck, settle the chin,
Soften the elbows here. All right. We have a second round of plank pose. Yes, we do. So give yourself a moment here to take a couple deep inhales and deep exhales before we move on with that.
Deep inhale in and deep exhale out.
One more, deep inhale in and deep exhale out. All right, are you ready for it? Bring yourself back up onto hands and knees. Check in that you've got that same hip and knee alignment, hip distance between both knees. Look back that you can't see your feet on the inside or the outside. Line those hands up. Let's go through a couple cat-cows first. Index fingers forward, thumbs all the way inward, outer three fingers. Line those elbows up. 3 cat-cows here. Take an inhale, sink the belly, sink the spine, lengthen that front of your neck, look up. Exhale, curl everything under. Really pull that belly button in, tuck that tailbone under. Let's do that again. Inhale, sinking everything down, lengthening the front of the neck and looking up. Exhale, curling everything under. Lengthen the back of the neck, chin to chest, look inward this time. Yeah, let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale and exhale and exhale. Get full angry cat this time. How high can you get up there? How tight can you get those abdominals? Beautiful. And then come back to the center. All right, drop down onto the elbows. So get yourself in a position that you feel like your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. So no shoulder impingement here, ladies and gentlemen. A nice simple plank. Index fingers, pull them in. Thumbs pull them in. Index is pointed forward. Let those outer 3 fingers line up. All right, now engage through those shoulder blades. So make sure that they're not crumpling down, but feel that pulling of the shoulder blades slightly apart. Let's start with the left leg this time. So take that left leg straight out. Make sure that you got hip, knee, and ankle in alignment. Line up the outside of the foot. Now that you've got it, here we go. Let's go to our second plank. Take that right leg and lift that right leg. Allow the knees to be straight. Gaze back at that right foot. Make sure it lines up. Now, in this position, pull between those shoulder blades. Squeeze and tuck that tailbone under. Push those heels back. Pull those elbows back and lengthen the neck and settle that chin. Feel that beautiful shaking of your body. Take a deep inhale in and exhale out. Deep inhale in. And exhale out. Yes, you've got it. Slowly drop your knees, drop your body, Cobra Pose again. So find yourself in the position that your elbows are stacked. Index fingers did not lose their position, pointed forward. Have your feet about hip distance apart. Allow yourself to gently tuck your tailbone under here so there's not too much stress into your low back area. Now, in this position, let's try that Bellow's breath again, or that Bactrista breath. Let's give it a try. So lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Shoulder blades, have them engaged. So lift your rib cage a little bit off the floor, but you feel that that belly is touching the floor. All through the nose here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more. And drop yourself down. All right, let yourself rest. Make that diamond with your index fingers and thumbs. Slowly drop your head all the way down. Let's do those 2 deep inhales and exhales one last time here. So slow, deep inhale into the belly. And slow exhaling out. One more time, nice deep inhale in. And exhale out. You've got it. Now take those hands underneath the shoulders, pull those shoulders and elbows back and down. Tuck that tailbone under, engage all those abdominals, lengthen the neck, settle the chin, and push yourself back into child's pose. Last time in child's pose here, knees are hip distance, feet are width of the hips apart. Drop the belly to the thighs, chest to the knees, lengthen the neck, settle the chin. Last 2 breaths before we make our way onto our back. So take a deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Beautiful. Now, slowly allow yourself to turn so that you're sitting on your side. Have yourself however is comfortable for you for sitting on your side. Now, we are going to tackle boat pose today, but not advanced boat pose in the yoga world. We are going to tackle a boat pose that's really going to allow us to get that strong contraction of our abdominals, to really fire up those visceral fat cells and hopefully make some difference in the weight loss in this inner area of our body. So what I'd like you to do, because none of us want to injure our backs, allow yourself to turn yourself so that you're sitting on your sit bones. So what that means for some of us, ladies and gentlemen, that have a little bit more gluteal tissue, do you like how I say that? Gluteal tissue, is you're gonna need to kind of pull everything away from your sit bones. So allow that to happen first. Once you have that, bend your knees up, take your hands to the outside of your knees. Secure your hands to the outside of your knees. Now, boat pose is all about engaging and bracing through the abdominals and the back muscles. So let me teach you how to get the back muscles to fire before you put your position of boat in place. So in this position, try to gently use your bicep muscles and try to lift your arms into the backs of your thighs as you push your legs into your thighs. You just fired all of those beautiful back muscles. Now lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and simply in this position, lift your toes up. So the only thing touching onto the floor are your heels. Make sure your shoulder blades are back and down, but keep using those biceps to pull into the legs. Now you have a nice strong trunk here in this firm position. So all I want you to do is lift your heels. Can you balance yourself here? So lengthen your neck, gaze between those big toes, keep pushing the arms into the legs into the arms. You've got it. Now you've got a stable spine. Keep that chest nice and lifted, shoulder blades back and down. Now maintain this. Give me a nice deep inhale and an exhale. One more time, nice deep inhale and an exhale. Don't go crazy, but can you lift your legs a little tiny bit without losing your balance? And if you lose your balance, please laugh at yourself. Have fun with this. Holding there, deep inhale and deep exhale. Now really tighten those abdominals. Can you stop holding your legs and bring your arms out? Guys, hold it right there. Lift that chest, deep inhale and deep exhale. One more breath, deep inhale and deep exhale, and grab the arms, pull the knees to the chest, place your feet back on the floor. You've got it. Now, if you practice boat pose at home and you fell, it is important to understand you may not have fallen because you have no strength. You may have just fallen because you lost your balance because you moved your head. So vestibular issues can sometimes play a big role into your balance in boat pose. All right, are you ready to try it one more time? Let's give it a try. So take your feet away from your body. Get your body nice and tall to begin. Bring your hands to the back of your thighs. So you're engaging your back muscles first so that you keep a stable spine here. Shoulder blades are back and down. Now in this position, start to push the legs into the hands and the hands into the legs. So feel those biceps engage. Now that you have that and you have that engagement, lift your feet up. So get that dorsiflexion through your feet. So the only thing left on the floor are your heels. All right. Shoulder blades back and down, tightening and engagement and bracing through those abdominals. Keep pushing into those legs and simply let yourself lift the legs off the floor. Now in this position, hopefully there's some good shaking. Keep pushing into the legs, but harden and brace through those abdominals. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin towards your throat. Let's do 2 deep inhales and exhales here. One more time, deep inhale and exhale. Yes, now if you can, just a little bit straighter with those legs. Where can you get to without losing your balance? Play with it, have fun. Nice deep inhale here and exhale one more time. Deep inhale and exhale. All right, final step only if you feel like you've got it in you. Can you begin to release the biceps and the extensors of your back? Really tighten your abdominals here. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Can you bring your arms out? Deep inhale here and exhale. One more time, deep inhale and exhale and drop your feet down to the floor. So let's stretch out our back. If you got a little too back heavy, trying to get some good visceral fat taken care of. So allow yourself to now roll through your side. Don't let yourself plow down on your back. It's just a little too hard on your discs of your low back. Find yourself on your back. Cup half full. We are here for the rest of class. So in this position now, take your right knee to your chest, take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, pull that knee to your chest, left leg, slide that leg down nice and far. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin, take a deep inhale here, and then on the exhale, pull the knee up and into the chest. You've got it. One more time, nice deep inhale, and exhale. Beautiful. Left leg, slide it on up, release the right foot to the floor, left knee up and into the chest. Give me a deep inhale here and exhale, pull that knee into your chest. Right leg down, straight on that mat. Take a nice deep inhale here and on the exhale, pull that left knee into your chest. Now, slide the right leg back up. Keep the left knee to the chest this time. Pull the right knee up into the chest. Nice deep inhale here. And exhale, pull the knees into the chest. All right. An excellent exercise for getting rid of visceral fat or weight loss of the abdomen. Wind relieving pose. So take your knees now and bring your knees wider than your hips. So have it that your knees are the width of your shoulders here. You can hold the tops of your knees. You can hold the underside of your knees, whichever feels more comfortable for you. Allow yourself to pull your shoulder blades back and under, lengthen your neck and settle your chin. Now, here's what we're going to do. We are going to wind relief. So what I want you to think about is your bellows breath here. Again, you have already been told what the contraindications are. You're in a different position, but I want you to think about forceful inhales and exhales through the abdomen. Don't be shocked if you get a little wind relieving on the forceful exhale, but let's give it a try here for 2 rounds of 5 repetitions of breath. So start with a slow, deep inhale in, exhaling out. All right, inhale, exhale, go. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and release. Beautiful job. Let's try one more round. Slow inhale first. And exhaling. All right, 5 times. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more, exhale. And relax. Drop your right foot to the floor. Drop your left foot to the floor. Hopefully you at home had some relief of wind as you really allowed yourself to work through those abdominal muscles and that visceral fat. Now take that right leg down the mat. Take the left foot up onto the right thigh. Right hand, reach for that left leg. Left hand out to the side of your body. Lengthen your neck here. Take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, pull that left knee to the right. Feel the pelvis lift, the low back lift, and the rib cage lift. Lengthen that left arm and keep that left shoulder blade on the floor. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin here, and turn your gaze towards the left. Now allow yourself to stay in this gentle spinal twist today and take a slow, deep inhale into that belly area. And exhaling out. One more time, nice deep inhale in. And exhaling out. Slowly derotating the head back to the center, starting at that left rib cage and slowly letting the left rib cage drop, the left low back drop, the left pelvis drop, the left knee unrotate, place the left foot on the floor, slide the right leg up, slide the left leg down, take that right foot on the left thigh, left hand to the right knee and right hand out to the side of the body. Nice deep inhale here, and on the exhale, right knee to the left as the hip rotates, the pelvis rotates, the low back rotates, the rib cage rotates, lengthen through that right arm, shoulder blade on the floor, lengthen through the neck, settle the chin, and turn that gaze to the right. Let everything be here. Slow, deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Gently derotating the head back to the center, starting at that right shoulder blade, bringing the right shoulder blade back down to the floor, followed by the low back, followed by the pelvis, followed by unrotating that right hip. Place the right foot on the floor, bring the left knee up. Once both knees are back up, I'll let the right knee and the left knee come back up to your chest. Deep inhale here, exhale, pull those knees into your chest. Hold yourself in this position with your neck long and your chin gently tucked inward. Take a deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. Let's do one more time. Nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. Slowly resting the right foot to the floor, slowly resting the left foot to the floor, sliding the right leg down to the right corner of the mat, the left leg down to the left corner of the mat, checking in that your pelvis and your lumbar spine are in a happy position here. Rolling those shoulder blades underneath you, resting those arms gently out to the side of your body. Allowing yourself to rest here now, keeping yourself nice and still, and doing full circle right to the very beginning of class again. So one of the key things that we need more than anything to get rid of belly fat is to manage our internal stressors and our external stressors. Management of the external stressors requires taking some time, maybe some pen and paper, and writing down what fills your cup in your normal life, and then figuring out how to eliminate some of it. Internal stressors, that's the hard part, because a lot of times we don't know what stresses us internally. Sometimes we do. But today, let's go back to that body awareness, keeping yourself nice and still. We'll start with the right foot this time. Let's go to your right toes. Feel where they are, go to your right foot. And this time, take a moment to focus on your right heel. Feel where it's touching the mat. Right ankle, move your way up that right leg. Can you feel where that right calf is touching your mat right now? And then move up towards that right knee. And keep moving up to the right thigh. Where can you feel that right thigh touching your mat as you move up to the right gluteal area? And then going to the left foot. Where can you feel the left heel touching your mat? While you're feeling that, start to slowly move up the left leg. Feel where that left calf touches your mat. Moving further up to the left knee. Going further to that left thigh. Continuing up and feeling where does that left thigh and that left buttock touch your mat. As you're feeling that, continuing to go up to now feeling the entire pelvis touching your yoga mat. Like a footprint in the sand. Can you imagine what the butt print in the sand would be if you were to visualize it? Is there equal weight on the right side and equal weight on that left side? And slowly take your attention up to your low back area. Start to pay attention to that waistband. Feel it on the back of your body. Feel it on the right side of your body, on the left side of your body. And then feel that waistband in that abdomen area. Take your attention up through the back of the rib cage and the front of the rib cage. Get all the way up until you can feel maybe where that neck area of your shirt touches the front of your chest, touches the back of your chest. And then go to your right hand and feel where the knuckles are touching the floor. Feel where the hand and the wrist do not touch the floor. And keep journeying up the right forearm until you feel where the elbow touches the floor or the mat. And travel up the right upper arm. Feel where that shoulder is in contact with the mat. And then continue to that shoulder blade and feel that right shoulder blade touching your mat. And go to your left hand. Feel the knuckles touching the mat. Feel where the wrist and the back of the hand is not touching the mat. Move up the forearm. Feel the touching of the elbow to the mat or the floor. Continue up that upper arm. Feel where the shoulder makes contact with that mat, and then take that awareness all the way to that left shoulder blade. Feel it touching your mat. And go to the back of your neck. Feel the space between the back of your neck and your mat. Imagine how big that space is. Go to the front of your throat and take that beautiful swallow. Appreciate all of the movement that happens when you do something so simple. Take your attention up to your jaw. Can you feel your teeth and your mouth? Are your teeth touching? Is your tongue in the roof of your mouth? Continue your attention up to your nostrils. And take a moment here to take a nice, slow, deep inhale. Can you feel that cool air in your nose? And exhaling out. Go to your eyelids. Are they gently closed, or are you tensing them? Go to your eyebrows. Are they gently relaxed, or are you tensing that muscle between those brows? And then finally go to your forehead. Are the muscles really relaxed, or are they tense? Allow yourself to feel that. And then slowly keep yourself nice and relaxed right here. Take a deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. One more breath, deep inhale in and exhaling out. Beautiful. Gently start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, circles with those wrists and those ankles, and then slide one leg up followed by the other. When you're ready, slowly let yourself roll to your left or your right side. Rest there for just a moment. Taking an inhale and an exhale, and when you're ready on your next exhale, top hand, bottom elbow, push yourself up into a seated position. Find yourself in a nice, easy pose here. Hands are to heart, smile on the face. Take a deep inhale in and exhale out. Namaste. The highest in me salutes the highest in you. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for joining me.